This is Late Night Health. This is the radio show that cares about the most important part of your life, your health. During the next 2 hours, the insane Daryl Wayne and hi, I'm Mark Alyn. We're going to take a look at some very interesting health concerns that reach millions of people just like you. We'll be talking about everything from stroke and aphasia to how not to kill your date. If you're 50 plus and you're out on the dating scene again, we're going to talk about that and how it psychologically affects you to go on a date when you've been with somebody for, say, 20 or 25 years. And we'll wrap up our show today talking about babies, bottles, and booze with Dr. Keisha Gather. I'm Mark Alyn, and welcome to Late Night Health. We start our show today as we begin a series on hearing and hearing loss. Last couple of weeks, last couple of months, I guess, I've come out of the hearing closet, so to speak, and have acknowledged the fact that I have a hearing deficit. Significantly, that my family actually did an intervention and forced me to look into getting hearing aids. And without them, I can't hear. I mean, you have to be very close to me. It's very hard. And without the Signia hearing aids that I have, I'm in desperate trouble. We go to the East Coast. We're going to talk to a young man. He's 24 years old. And his name is Matt Hench. To me, he is a hearing hero because he's stepped out of that closet and is willing to talk to us today about his hearing loss. Matt, welcome to Late Night Health.
Thanks, Mark.
At what age did you realize, or did your folks realize, that you had a hearing problem?
So I guess it would be my parents. It started in kindergarten that I had to get my first ear surgery, which was the pressure equalizing tubes that a lot of kids with ear infections have to get.
Right.
And so I really didn't understand much of like what that meant and what that would mean for me in the future. They also said that developmentally I wasn't like speaking as much as I probably should have early on, and kindergarten was really hard for me. And although I can't actually recall, it's my mom thinks that could have been due to the fact that I just wasn't hearing right. And it wasn't until high school, actually. It was either late middle school or early high school that my ear doctor, he told me that I didn't have to take the school hearing exam because I'd fail it, and I didn't actually believe him. So just for fun, I was like, hey, I don't have to take this, but I just want to take it. I want to see how I do. And I took it, and they said, your doctor was right, you failed it. And that was kind of a shock to me. That's when I really realized, yeah, I'm not hearing like everybody else. I knew in my head that I wasn't, but that's the first concrete evidence I had.
Right. But you made adjustments in your life to be able to talk to your friends, to talk to your family, to hear what they were saying.
That's correct. Frequently, especially if I was like in a room with a lot of people, it was embarrassing, and I tried to be discreet about it, but I'd put my hands behind my ears, to pick up more volume, and that works. That you can
been there, done that.
Yeah, but as at the time, 21-year-old guy, that was, I was trying to pretend, like I wasn't doing it at the same time, but I had to, or else I wouldn't be hearing.
Were you embarrassed by the fact that you could not hear?
I wasn't super embarrassed of the fact that I had hearing loss. Like, I understood that, and it was just, it's just what it was. But I would be embarrassed whenever people would say something and I'd say, what? And then they'd say it again, and I'd have to, sometimes I just humbled myself and was like, look, I'm really not hearing you. And sometimes I was just too embarrassed to ask again. Say, I'm sure you understand this, the kind of polite chuckle and hope that it was the right response.
Yeah. Yes, I do. And what about when they say, what do you think about? You don't know what the heck they're talking about, and you just nod your head or say, yeah.
Yeah. So my favorite thing that happened with that, I was actually at church and someone came by and was like, hey, I had no clue what they said. And, just instinctively I was like, yeah. And like a minute later, they came back with a piece of cake on a plate for me. So it really worked out in my favor that time.
Well, at least you, they could have drafted you to make you speak or something in front of the church on some topic you didn't know about. Our guest is a physical therapy assistant. He's a licensed physical therapy assistant. He's a growing YouTube follower. We're going to give him a YouTube video of this. Maybe he'll post it on his website. And he's a budding filmmaker, and just as a budding filmmaker, know that Daryl and I are available for any parts that pay. And he's also a Signia hearing hero. When you got your first set of hearing aids, was it like a light switch in your head went on and you went, whoa?
That's exactly what it was like. So it was a little over a year ago that I started with just one. I started with just one hearing aid. And I remember the audiologist put it in my ear, and immediately, just the immediate difference of conversation, of breathing, of sounds, like if you're sorting through something on a desk, and I almost started crying. Like I could feel it was just a very emotional experience to go from what all your life of hearing loss to all of a sudden being able to hear. And just the dramatic change in that. So
I can well imagine, because when I had my first set, I went into my backyard to check something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was literally amazed, because I'd been in my backyard, 1.5 million times. And I heard this sound I hadn't heard in years. Birds chirping.
Wow. Yeah.
And talk about, you're right, I was almost crying too. And I have to thank Signia for that, as well as Bright here in Los Angeles, for just literally opening up my life. Matt, do you think that the general public has a better handle on people with hearing loss than they did, say, 50 years ago or 30 years ago? You're only 24 years old. I know that you weren't there, but you've read, you've heard, and you know how people react to you.
Yeah. So I think we've come a long way, but I don't think we're done. I think there's a long way to go still, because I most closely associate hearing aids with glasses, because what is it? You're taking a sensory deficit and you're aiding it. You're trying to make it as normal as possible. And so I want to get to the point where people see hearing aids and it's just totally normal, just like when someone sees somebody with glasses. There's no questions asked. It's just, oh, yeah, they must have bad eyes, so they're wearing glasses. Oh, yeah, they must have bad ears, so they're wearing hearing aids.
And glasses have become such a fashion statement. Hearing aids are not.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. In the past, there's been a lot of people that don't even need glasses that are wearing them, and it's become that fashion statement, which is something that I love. So Signia is trying to really push that fact. I have their new model. They're called stilettos or stilettos, and they honestly look awesome. I love the way my hearing aids look.
But do you hide? But they're hard to see.
They are hard to see because of hair, and they're just super slim. I had a patient talking to me about hearing aids, and she needed to get some hearing aids, and I pulled mine out, and she's like, "Are you telling me you've been wearing that all this time?" And she had no clue. You really can't see them, especially if you're not looking for them.
Yeah, it is truly amazing. Our guest is Matt Hench. He's a 24-year-old physical therapy assistant, licensed. Where are you, in the Boston area? I forgot. Philly?
I'm in central Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
So I'm really close to Harrisburg.
Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha. And he is what I'm calling a Signia hearing hero because he's willing to talk about something that many people do not want to talk about, and that's hearing loss. We'll have a link to Signia and Bright here on latenighthealth.com. We'll give the websites out during our next segment. I'm Mark Alyn. Don't go away. More coming up. Join us at latenighthealth.com, latenighthealth.com. We turn it over to the insane Daryl Wayne.